Hello, you are listening to Dr. Sushma Singh. Today in Unit 5 Brahminical Perspective, we are continuing our topic Varna Jati theory. Basically, there are three gunas. Sattva guna associated with brightness and intelligence. Raja guna associated with energy and rigorous activity. And the tamaguna associated with darkness and inactivity. It is believed that these gunas combine in different proportions, which brings about variation in behavior of people. It is stated in Gita that four varnas were created on the basis of gunas, in the sense that sattva guna enjoying serenity of mind, self-control, forbearance, wisdom, and aptitude that acquiring spiritual knowledge are the attributes of the Brahmins. Rajaguna enjoying bravery, fury, steadiness, and inclination for acquiring kingship are the attributes of the Kshatriya. Skill to till the land, maintain herds of cattle and other animal for sustenance. Trade and commerce are the attributes of the Vaishya, and Tamaguna enjoying aptitude for serving others and performing manual works are the attributes of the Shudras. These are also defined the duties ascribed to the people of the four varnas of the scriptures. Most clearly stated, the Brahmins are ordained to master and scare text. According to the Vishu Mriti, the Brahmin teaches the Veda, a Brahmin sacrifices for others and receives alms. The Kshatriya are ordained to fight in war and battle and to protect the people of other varnas from enemies. They could also perform administrative and military services. The Vaishya are ordained to make a living by engaging in trade and merchandise, cultivation of land and breeding of cattle. The Shudras are ordained to serve the people of other caste for modesty and humility. It is commonly held that dharma or righteous action is one which is in line with the caste rules. Apart from these norms, Manu prescribed activities that people of different varnas could take up in times of crisis. He laid out the following work for wages, service, rearing cattle, seeking alms, and receiving interest on money. Among others, as activities that could be undertaken by people of all varna for subsistence in difficult times. The laws of Manu enshrined in the Manu Smriti mention that failure of the observance of caste rules leads to the dire consequences. Those who digress from the scarce code were relegated to a lower position in the social order. The injunctions were more impinging on the Brahmins, who set standards for others to follow and who sat in judgment over others' performance in the society. Notwithstanding the prescriptions in the scarce text, the laws for adopting an occupation were not always adhered to strictly even by the Brahmins. Instances of departure from the code laid down by Manu are found in early Buddhist literature. Following the Brahmaspritya, there are at least 6 kinds of degraded Brahmins on the basis of undertaking occupations other than those laid out by Manu, rendering service to the king as personal servant. Engaging in trade and selling, making sacrifices for others because of greed of money, acting as priests for the entire village, serving as cooks, and refraining from their daily sacrifices. These Brahmins are like Shudras. A Brahmin had a ritual power to ensure the safety of the king through his prayers, offering and rituals that appears the deities. It is believed that deities do not accept the offering from a king till a Brahman priest mediates the rituals that accompany them. An enraged Brahman can curse kings and their subjects. There is widespread fear that Brahmin's curse will come true. The position of the Brahmin stood out in sharp contrast to that of an untouchable. Now, while the Kshatriya and the Vaishya, like the Brahmins, could read the Veda or hear readings from them, these were required to be taught and explained to them by a spiritual preceptor. The untouchables, on the other hand, were not allowed to hear the Vedas. While the Brahmin was revered, the untouchables was looked down upon, the treating with disgust. The untouchables remained marginalized in society to the extent that access to temples, water sources, and other places of social interface with the twice born were denied to them. They were forced to maintain physical and social distances from the rest of the people. They would not be allowed to enter the premises of the twice born. The Brahmins in Tamil Nadu lived in distinct area called the agrograms. They confined most of their activities with the agrograms. Surely the non-Brahmins, particularly untouchables, were not allowed to enter it except for scavenging, for which they were instructed to use the back lanes and in the way that they were not seen, neither did their shadow fall on the Brahmin. Untouchables could not wear footwear or keep a mustache. If they did grow a mustache, they could not twirl them out. The women were not allowed to wear the upper garment. In addition, untouchables were not heard on important matters that concerned everybody in the village, including them. They had no say in decisions taken neither about their own affairs nor on issues that were of pertinence to them directly. The Mount explains the set of four Varna divides into two. The last category of Shudra is opposed to the black of the first three, whose members are twice born in the sense that they participate in initiation, second birth, and in the religious life in general. These twice born in turn divide into two. Vaishya are opposed to the black formed by the Kshatriya and the Brahmins, which in turn divided into two, here the second birth. First birth being that from the mother's womb implied in the expression twice born refers to the initiation ceremony in which men wear the sacred thread for the first time over the left shoulder and across the body. This symbolizes the second and spiritual birth of the person and qualifying him to perform certain rituals and recite certain mantras. The Tamil Brahmin boys, for instance, are encouraged to recite the Gayatri mantra verses invoking the sun god only after they have undergone the sacred thread ceremony. In the Pali text of word jati is used for caste, it may be noted that the word does not appear in Vedic literature. In Katyana Sutra, it is used for family. It occurs in the Nurukata and the Panini, who explains Brahman Jati as meaning one who is a Brahman by caste. Though some authorities have clearly pointed out the difference between the Jati and Varna, many others have used these words synonymously. Manu used the word Varna for mixed caste and often conversely Jati for Varna. Manu propounded that children inherit character types from their parents, and that is that a person adopts the occupation for which he is temperamentally equipped by heredity. Jatis are in a sense groups sharing an occupation. Manu has laid down detailed rules of hypergamous marriages and hypogamous marriages. The laws of Manu prescribe that children born out of parents belonging to same varna are savarna, meaning same varna, while those born out of parents belonging to different varna are golaka. While people belonging to a varna marriage those belonging to a higher one repeatedly over 5 or 7 generations, only then their varna gets upgraded, which means that they are treated as belonging to the higher one. Further, Manu states that jatis originate because of the mixed marriages, that is, between people belonging to different varnas. Saraswati states the following law operates consistently in the case of jatis. The children begotten from wedded wives equal in jati belong to the jati of their fathers. But if the mothers are bijati, then children born of such union are called apsad and placed under a jati which is neither of their father nor of their mother. This is how the various jatis have sprung up. It may be mentioned, however, that children born out of Nyanga union of the sake of begetting marriage inherit the varna of their mother and not biological father. Several Brahman jatis are believed to have been descendants of the sons born out of the mind or the intellectual prowess of the gods. These are the Manas Putra. Manas means mind and Putra means son. There are others that have descended from the sun bones from the body fluids of the gods. There are yet others that have descended from the sons born from wedlock and by the natural birth. Such births are, however, mediated by divine intervention. Brahmins are believed to have descended from a saga or seer after whom their gotra is named. It is commonly believed that Brahmins of an earlier generation, like the sagas, who were their ancestors, were often endowed with Brahmatas, a quality which gave to their appearance of a particular glow and serenity. Here we want to close this lecture. Thanks for listening.